Right now we're going to talk about converting decimals to fractions. And there's a quick and easy little trick that I tell my kids that will help them to, just a story to remember how it works. And that story is that it's a hot summer day. So hot that the decimal drips down and becomes a 1. All the other numbers after the decimal, they fry. So that 9 becomes a 0. And there you have 9/10. Written two different ways. You have 9/10 and 9/10. Now, it doesn't just work with single-digit decimals. It also works with decimals that have more than one place value. So we have 0.543. What happens is that it's a hot summer day, so hot that the decimal drips down. All the other numbers after the decimal place fry, so the 5 becomes a 0, the 4 becomes a 0, and the 3 becomes a 0. And there we have 543 thousandths, which is written two different ways, but means the exact same thing. Now, something that we always have to remember with working with fractions, and my kids are well aware of this, but it never hurts to be reminded, is that when you have newly created fractions, let's create this fraction, so hot the decimal drips down, 6 becomes a 0. You always have to remember to look and see if your fraction can be reduced. In this case, the fraction can be reduced. So we're going to use our fractional 1 there. I'm going to put 2 over 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So there we have 6/10, 6/10, and 3/5, which actually all mean the same thing, but when you reduce a fraction, it's like taking a car and painting it a different color. It looks different, but it's really the same thing. It'll work the same way. So there we have how to convert decimals to fractions. One more quick thing to add in there is when you have something like this, when you have numbers on both sides of the decimals, that whole number doesn't quite fry, but because it's a whole number, we're just going to shift it down a little bit. So on the hot summer day, the decimal drips down. 7 fries becomes a 0, and you'll see that 5.7 is the same as 5 7/10.